Good morning, everyone. It's Lynette with Grammy Crochet. Today's Tuesday. I don't know the date. Maybe it's around the 20th. Not really sure. And this is, I think, Charm Chatter, maybe number 338. And it's in the morning, and I'm just having coffee, getting ready for work. So thanks for joining me. I hope you're having a cup of coffee too. This is my cup. I'm an amazing hooker. Be jealous. I got this from Rosie from Nona May's. Nona's Crochet Lounge. I think that's what she calls her channel. She used to put out great videos, and then COVID hit, and she's in Canada, and she was locked in and working on Zoom, and she just got tired of being in front of a computer screen all day long, and then they moved, and I miss her. I used to love her videos. Come back to us, Rosie. So I have had a really, really busy weekend, and yesterday as well, all on non-yarny stuff. I did not get much crochet, and I think this is the least I've crocheted in years. So I'm missing my crochet. It doesn't leave me a whole great deal to talk about, but I did work on my test project, so I can't show you that because it's a test pattern, and it's not done. But Anita, I did work on that, and that's from, it's a pattern, again, from Anita with YOH Crochet, and I will have her linked. She does beautiful patterns. I totally love her work. I did work on this blanket, and this is, well, not blanket. I'm not really, I think I finally decided maybe what it's going to be, what it's going to grow up into. So this is, what am I using? This is a Dreamweaver yarn, and I talked about it in a video a couple of days ago. It's very similar to Landscapes, or the one I couldn't remember. Unforgettable. I forgot Unforgettable, but the yarn is very much like that. So it's a little bit roving, but I think it's like classified as a 4-weight because it's got this halo, but the actual strands are more like a 3-weight, and I am using a 7mm hook. And this is the same pattern, stitch pattern that I'm using on the on my Luck of the Draw that Nancy from Next Knots normally does, but excuse me, my friend Mama Swift is doing this time. If you haven't, I'm just going to go off on a tangent here. If you haven't started a Luck of the Draw yet this time, this is Luck of the Draw 6. If you haven't done it, hey, jump on in. There's plenty of time to catch up. You need to, you can crochet a blankie, just a little one, like 35 inches to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long. You have plenty of time to do that because this will end mid-December. The Luck of the Draw, not this. The Luck of the Draw ends mid-December, and that's plenty of time to ship off a package to Nancy, and she's got yarn too, and ship off your blanket and send it to Nancy for Boogie Creek, because we are collecting those size blankets for Camp Boogie Creek for the kids. Or Bogey Creek. I'm not really sure. I can never remember. But anyway, we're collecting the blankies. And Billy from the Crafty Floridian, Nancy and I are in this together to encourage everyone to make a blanket. So Luck at the Draw 6 is a really good blanket to make because you can make it any size you want. You don't have to make a blanket. But originally, I thought this was going to be a blanket, and then as the yarn started coming out, it doesn't want to be a blanket. It's just not the right yarn with the stitch to be a blanket. It's beautiful. I mean, it would be beautiful as a throw on the back of your couch, but not something that I think you'd want to curl up in. And so originally I was going to do a wrap, and then I decided I would do a blanket, and it might still be a wrap, but when I was crocheting on it during the football game, my daughter and my sister-in-law said it would be a beautiful scarf. So I'm like, Now, I know Amanda wouldn't wear it because these are definitely not her colors, but my sister-in-law said she would. She said, oh, I would wear that as a scarf. I said, oh, you would in the winter because it's not like winter colors. I said, you would wear this? She said, oh, yeah, that's beautiful. So this might grow up to be a scarf instead of a wrap. But it's thin enough and drapey enough that if I made it wide as a scarf, as wide for a scarf but thin for a wrap, you could still kind of do it both ways. So I'm going to continue to go on, and this is in my to-go bag for work. So because the yarn is thin enough, this is my go bag. It fits inside my lunch bag usually because everything is small that goes inside, It crunches up small enough that I can still fit a sandwich or whatever in my lunch bag because see, it just ends up real small. And I don't know where I got this bag, but I love it. So I know someone had to have given it to me, and I apologize that I can't remember. I've had it for a really long time. I love this bag. I use it. It's my go bag. I use it everywhere. It goes with me everywhere I go. So it's well traveled because it's been to several states. So anyway, I worked on that, and I think it is going to grow up to be a thin wrap, thick scarf for my sister-in-law. Oh, and by the way, just on a funny note, Amanda was in helping me pick out a yarn color in my yarn room the other day, and she saw a pattern for a scooty. She's like, oh my gosh, you got to make me one of these. I said, oh, it's like a hat and a scarf together. And she said, I love that. You need to make me one. I said, okay, I'll make you one. And so then I told her they call it a scooty. I said, oh yeah. I said, that's called a scooty. She says, don't make me one of those. And being called a scooty, she's not gonna wear it. I thought that was so funny. So then the other thing I want to show you that I did work on is my knitting, and I've decided I'm just not a very good knitter. I'm new, so I'm not hard on myself here. It's just I'm still new in it, and it shows. So this yarn is kind of busy, and I can't stretch it out far enough so that my stuff doesn't fall off. But this is supposed to have like a rib look to it here, and I don't know if you can tell. It's got a rib here, but then I somehow keep getting off on my stitches, and my ribs aren't showing up. In some places it ribs, and then in other places I don't know what the heck. I have a paper, and I have so every other row you're supposed to start with a knit stitch, and the other row a purl stitch. So I don't know if I marked it off wrong, but I've pulled this out once because I was doing the stitches wrong. Now I'm not pulling it out again. I might just go with the purl stitch. No, the purl stitch. We're supposed to do this section for 42 up to row 42, and I think I'm on like row 32. I don't know, something like that. But you do the first 7 of the knit stitch. I got that down in the last 7, so it makes it look like a border. And then you're supposed to have this ribbing in the middle, but I'm I think off on my pattern, and but then I get in like the middle of the stitch and something distracts me, and then I get lost and I forget if I was knitting or purling, and I don't recognize the stitches in it well enough to know, and I think, oh, I think I just purled that one, and then I have to knit, and then I screwed up. And so like I'll be like starting to get the rib again, and then I do that and I screwed up, and so it's all bumpy, and I'm not ribbing it out again. It's busy enough that it'll be fine. It's got enough texture in the bottom. I'm just going with it because it's my first one. So I think what I've decided to do is that I'm just going to purl until I get to where the next thing happens. Then I have to learn a new stitch. Because I know the knit stitch, I know the function of how to do it, and I know how to do the purl stitch. I know the function of how to do that. I don't know how to recognize them, in the work. So if I've done the one stitch, and I know it's like to recognize the stitch next to it when it's like all distorted later, I can say, oh yeah, this is one stitch and this is the other stitch. I don't know which is which. Yes, I do. The bumpier one is the knit stitch, and the one that looks like these is the purl stitch. But in the middle of crocheting it or knitting it, I can't recognize which one is which. So when I stop and then I can't remember where I was on a knit or a purl, or somebody asks me a question, I mean, it doesn't take much to distract me and then forget what I was doing. So I think I'm just going to purl stitch to row 42. I mean, I'm still going to do the knits on the sides, so the side looks the same, but I think I'm just going to purl it up because I really like the look of the purl stitch anyway. And then there's another thing that we do, and then I think we're supposed to go back to the rib stitch, but I think I'm just going to purl that one up. And that's how I think I'm going to do the pattern. It's not going to be the way the pattern actually reads, so I'm going to go with my friend Jaxie, who says it's just a recipe. So my recipe is changing because I don't want to rip it out again, and so the bottom section of the recipe is just going to be a little bit messed up, but I don't care. It's my first one, and it's going to be real cozy regardless if the stitches are in the right order or not. And so we're moving on, because if I rip it out again and then I screw it up again, you know, it's just going to get to the point where I'm not going to want to work on it. So I just want to move forward. I'm having coffee because it's still early in the morning. And this is I'm an Amazing Hooker Be Jealous cup that I received from Rosie from Nana's Stitching Lounge, and I miss her. I wish she would come back to us. Maybe one day she will. She has put out a couple of videos in the last couple of months, just like a catch up, and then she poofs again. So I miss you, Rosie. Come back to us, honey. But the coffee is good. And what am I wearing? I am wearing a hug from my good friend Jaxie at Creations by Jax. I've been wearing it a lot. I sit next. This is where I crochet. As you can see, I have my crochet stuff over here. And the air conditioner vent is right here. And that air blows out so cold. Like right now, it's nice. No air is on. It's just comfy. That air blows and it freezes you out. So I need something to cover my arms and shoulders when I'm sitting here. And this is perfect. I get a hug from Jax and I get to stay warm. So thank you so much, Jaxie. I love it. If you don't know my friend Jaxie, or any of the people that I have mentioned in the video, they'll all be linked below in the description box. Please go visit my friends. I think you'll enjoy them and enjoy their content, but you probably know all of them anyway. So that's all I have for you today. I gotta get off to work, pack my lunch, and I have to unload and reload the dishwasher because I have dirty dishes in my sink, and I hate having dirty dishes in my sink. But I did not unload the dishwasher yesterday. Shame on me. But I'm going to do it right now because it takes 5 minutes. And I have 5 minutes. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.